Hi, Stefan the BMW DIY guy. Today I'm going to be working on my E83 X3 and changing the headlight bulbs. This is a really simple thing you can do. These are halogen headlight bulbs, so I'm going to be replacing them with Sylvania Silverstars. Now, there's a million choices for headlight bulbs, and there's a lot of people that argue that this brand is better than that brand and all of that. I like Sylvania Silverstars. I always get the Silverstar Ultras, and one of the biggest complaints about them is lifespan. But I find that they put out good quality light, and with an average of at least a year lifespan, I really don't see it as a big deal. I very frequently have the bulbs last a lot longer than a year, so I'm really not worried about it. You'll read some stories, or you can read some reviews that they say that, well, I had them in for 3 months and they failed. I've never experienced that, and I've used them many, many times. Arguably, I think they're the best bang for the buck bulb you can get for halogen, and I've got a driver's side headlight bulb that's out. Now, this change is super simple. You really need almost no tools, and you could even do this without any tools if the little locking tab on the weather cover on the back of your headlight bulbs comes off, or comes off easily. But you're going to need a flat-bladed screwdriver or a plastic trim tool or even a pick tool to help out to lift the little lever to get that cover off. Now, you'll see more when we get out to the car. The other thing you're going to need is you're going to need a 10mm socket or wrench to remove and pull the washer fluid reservoir out of the way on the passenger side. Now, I've got one bulb out. I'm going to replace both. In almost all occasions, if one bulb is gone, then the other one's probably pretty close too, so I always replace them in pairs. The other thing you can get sometimes too is that if you have two bulbs of two different ages, they'll be different colors, and it's kind of subtle, but you can see the difference on the road out in front of you as well. So this is a very simple, very quick change. So let's get out to the garage and get it done. Okay, so we're out in the garage and we're looking at the back of the driver's side low beam. So this cover has got two posts at the bottom that hinge in and snap up into the place, and you'll see that there's a little flip lever right here that you pry down on for this cover to come out and away to expose the back of the bulb. Now there's a couple of ways of getting at it. You've got a plastic trim tool, of which I have. You also can use a metal pick or something similar like this to get in to pick up this little tab right here that you can see. Because what you have to do is pry on the back of it right here and it'll lift, and then the cover will come off. So it's a matter of just applying the right kind of pressure to get this tab to lift up. Hopefully you won't be staring at the back of my head here too badly, right? But this tab has just simply got to lift up and away, and when the tab lifts away, it comes off. So now in this case, I took my pick and I slid it in and kind of lifted to get that tab to come up, right? So then the cover just comes off, just like that. No big deal. You don't have to take any screws, you don't need anything complex. And I used a pick tool. You could also use a flat-bladed screwdriver, plastic trim tool if you have it. And now, it's a little difficult to see on the camera angle right now, but you can see the back of the bulb and the plug. So what you're gonna wanna do is reach in, and you can feel the back of the bulb, and you should be able to turn the bulb, and the bulb will come out just like that. Now, the one thing I really want to stress when you do this is when you take the new bulb, we're going to pull this off. Now, this bulb doesn't really matter because it's burned out, so we're going to pull this off, and you can see your connections here, right? So it's super simple. Now, the one thing I want to stress is either wear gloves when you put the new bulb on, or if you're barehanded, be really, really careful that you do not touch the bulb. You're going to burn the bulb out much more rapidly if you have oil on the bulb. These are high intensity, they're halogen bulbs. They're not xenon or bi-xenon, but they're high intensity halogen bulbs. Now, like I mentioned earlier, there's a million different choices for headlight bulbs. In this case, I really like the Sylvania Silverstars. I've used them for years. One of the most common complaints is that they don't have the greatest lifespan, but I find it that I've had no issues with lifespan on them. So what you'll do is, you can see your plug right here. You'll take your new bulb, plug it in, and I'll show this in a second. I'm just going to pull the bulb out and be really careful when I do it. Put the new bulb in. It'll fit back into place, fit back into the socket, and will turn back into place and lock in. Make sure that the bulb is locked in and nice and cleanly when you put it in. So I'm going to get the bulb and I'll show you fitting it in. Okay, so we've got the new bulb. Now I want you to notice. Now, and again, I'm using Sylvania Silverstar, so the bulbs you have might be able to look a little different. I put on some gloves because I just want to be super careful to not touch the bulb. You touch the bulb and you can ruin it. So you can see that there's a notch right here at the top of that frame on the bulb. So when you plug this in, it doesn't matter what orientation that the plugs go in, right? So I'm going to plug it with the notch up, because when you put this into place, it's going to go notch up in the headlight, because in the collar of the inside of the headlight, it's round across the bottom and has a notch cut out at the top. So you're going to put the new bulb in, feed it back in here. And the other thing you can do is, if you look from the front of the headlight, you can carefully guide the bulb in so you don't scrape it up or bang it up. And that notch goes right on that top orientation. And there's two metal clips, and you can feel it just click right into place like that. So now it's locked in, and you can also see that the bulb is straight because there's a little conical cover like this. The bulb is going to fit directly into that conical cover. So if it's sitting low or sitting high or touching against that cover, that's also not right. So you can tell it's not straight in those clips. So the notch is at the 12 o'clock position, right at the top. So right at the 12 o'clock position at the top of that notch, and you press it in, and you can feel it press past a couple of little clips that hold it into place. So that bulb should be in straight. And then your cover, all you're going to do is put the two notches at the bottom, right here at the bottom, and just rock your cover right back up into place, and it'll snap into place and you're good. Okay, we're going to move over to the passenger side. I wanted to show the driver's side first because it's a little bit easier to show. There's a lot less space on the passenger side. Worst case scenario, you can pull the washer fluid reservoir out and off to get it out of the way. Could be messy depending on what you're doing, but we'll show that next. So the washer fluid reservoir absolutely has to come out of the way. Now, ironically enough, I've lost my 10mm socket, so you can just use a quick socket. I've got a 10mm wrench that I'm just going to use because you've got this one bolt right here at the top holding your washer fluid reservoir in place. When you pull this out, be really careful when you pull it out. Number one, not to drop the bolt, and two, depending on the options you have in your car, if you've got the headlight washers, like for example, if you have the cold weather package and that sort of thing, you can have all kinds of connections at the bottom of your reservoir that you don't want to pull free. So you want to pull that off, and then your tank is loose at this point. You can see you get it up and out of the way. Be really careful when you pull it up and out of the way that you're not disturbing anything else as you do that. So now my light is wrong, and I'll show you, I'll move my light. But right here, you can see, is the back of your low beam on the passenger side. So right here. So now it's super easy to get to. My light is wrong, but that's okay. So you've got the same interlocking tab right at the top that you will just simply flip off right here. So we'll flip that off, and then this will peel out. It'll be the same thing where you reach in and you pull the headlight bulb out. So I'm going to pull this cover off now that you can see it a little bit better, and it's going to be the same process. I'll show you putting the bulb in. Okay, so the cover's off. Super simple. This whole process should take you about 10 or 15 minutes total. So again, just wiggle the bulb free. So this bulb is still good, but I'm going to change it anyway because both of these went in at the same time. So I'm going to take these out because if one burned out, then the other's probably about to do the same. So we're going to be in the exact same process, right? So that notch, you'll see the notch here in the top. That notch goes in the same orientation, so you plug it with the notch up. So again, this is the bad bulb, so I can beat it up a little bit. It doesn't matter. So you're going to plug it into place and make sure it plugs in fully with the notch at the top, and you're going to feed it right back in. Look through the headlight from the front to make sure that it goes in straight and you're not chipping up the front of the bulb or anything as you put it in. So we'll take this out, we'll put the new bulb in, and then we'll test. So the new bulb is in. You can see the cover's in place. I just wanted to show this one last step here really quickly before we test. Make sure that these covers are on solid. These are your weather covers to make sure that you don't get any moisture in here. So like I said, there's two posts at the bottom that go into two little holes, and then it rocks up, and make sure that this clip is on solid. So it'll click when it goes into place. And keep in mind of the little collar that your headlight bulb is going into on the inside of your headlight. On the passenger side in this car, it's in a little bit better shape. So with that tab at the top orientation, and I pushed the bulb in, it clicked in much easier. When you look through it from the front, you can also see the bulb coming in and the plate that the bulb mounts to, and that it's mounted flush with the headlight assembly itself. You can see that. So just make sure your bulb's in straight, because the last thing you'd want to do is have that bulb rub up against the little cap covers on the inside, blow your bulb early, or your headlights not look right because the bulbs themselves are at a wrong angle pointing down the road. Make sure that your weather covers are snapped all the way up into place, and then you can test, assuming that both bulbs come on, and you're good, and your headlights are straight. You're all done. Okay, so all done. As you can see, that really isn't hard. What you want to make sure to do, like I said, is you can wear gloves, like nitrite gloves or work gloves. Don't touch the bulbs. Be very, very careful, or they will burn out quickly, which is why sometimes I wonder when you read some of the reviews and they're like, my bulb burned out in 2 months. Well, did you touch it? I always wonder that myself. So as you can see, you can do this with really simple tools. It takes you probably 10 or 15 minutes at the most. It could even take you less than that if you're familiar with the process. So really not hard at all. Now the big thing is you want to make sure that you didn't touch the bulb, that the little plate on that back of the bulb for the Sylvania Silverstars has the tab sticking up at the top, so the 12 o'clock position when you put the bulb in. Like I said, you can also look through the bulb or through your headlight lens from the front and make sure that the bulb is in straight and that plate on the back of the bulb is flush up against the mount. And then make sure that those covers that you have to pull off to get to the back of them are snapped up and are really secure, because again, that's going to keep water and other moisture out of your headlights, and you really want to avoid that. So all in all, as you can see, really, really simple. This is something you can do in 10 or 15 minutes, and there's no reason to have somebody else do this for you. And I really hope this was helpful. So, if you like what you've seen, please click subscribe. It makes a huge difference to me and my channel. I try to answer any questions that I get, and I look forward to seeing you on my next video.